Good morning everyone. In previous class we see the introduction of the microprocessor. Now we can see the unit 1 architecture of 8085 microprocessor part 1. In this first topic is block diagram of 8085. This is the block diagram. Here we see the blocks. It contains interrupt control, serial input or output control, 8-bit internal data bus, accumulator, temporary register, flags, ALU, instruction register, instruction decoder, register select which contains W, Z, B, C, D, E, H, L, stack pointer, program counter, incrementer, decrement. Later address buffer, data and address buffer, timing and control circuit. This is the block diagram or architecture of the 8085. Before going to the functional explanation of 8085, we have to know features of the 8085. In previous video lecture, you see some of the features. Now we see briefly about it. 8085 is pronounced as 8085 microprocessor. We call it as 8085 or 8085. It is an 8-bit microprocessor designed by Intel in 1977 using NMOS technology. Here NMOS means N-type metal oxide semiconductor technology. By using this technology, Intel Corporation was developed this 8-bit microprocessor. It has following configurations. It contains 8-bit data bus, 16-bit address bus, 16-bit program counter, 16-bit stack pointer, and contains 6 8-bit registers that are arranged in pairs BC, DE, HL. 8085 microprocessor requires 5 volt supply for its operation, and it is to operate at 3.2 MHz clock speed. Here clock speed means here clock speed means operating speed of the processor. The faster the clock, the more instructions can execute per second. This is about clock speed. Next, the memory size of any microprocessor depends on number of address lines. The general formula is 2 power of n, where n is number of address lines. For 8085 there are 2 power of 16. Here 16 means 8085 microprocessor contains 16-bit address bus. So here in place of n we are substituting 16. So 2 power of 16 means 64 kilobytes of memory size microprocessor can occupy. Next we see functional units of 8085. See first one, registers. These are nothing but set of flip-flops. These are basically used to hold or store the data. This is used for storing the data. Next, general purpose register. Total 8085 microprocessor contains 6 general purpose registers that are present inside the microprocessor, and each general purpose register store 8-bit of data. Next, these general purpose registers are seen in block diagram. B, C, D, E, H, L. These are general purpose registers. Next, if we want to execute in 16-bit operation, these registers can be combined to form pairs such as BC, DE, HL. Means in order to execute 16-bit operation. These are programmable register. That means these registers are accessed by the programmer to insert and transfer the data. This is mainly used for to insert and to transfer the data. These general purpose registers are used. Next, temporary registers. These registers are used by ALU to store the data on temporary basis. Whatever the data is given to the perform arithmetic and logical operations, the data is to be stored temporarily. That are basically two types temporary registers: temporary data register, W and Z register. A temporary data register, it is an 8-bit register that holds the operand. Here operand means, for example, if we give an instruction add 1 and 2 or add A and B registers, that A and B and 1 and 2 value indicates that operand. Opcode means whatever the operation is to be performed, that means add, sub, move, these are opcodes, and it provides to the ALU for programming execution. Next, W and Z register. This is also used for temporary values, but this is not utilized with this developer. Next, accumulator. It is an 8-bit register used to perform arithmetic, logical, input or output, and load or store operations. We see this in accumulator. This is connected to the arithmetic and logical unit and 8-bit internal data bus. This accumulator is mainly used to perform arithmetic and logical operations. Next, we see arithmetic and logical unit. We all are familiar with this arithmetic and logical unit. It performs arithmetic and logical operations like arithmetic operations means addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, etc. Whereas logical operations means AND operation, OR operation, XOR, XNOR. These all are logical operations. These are for to store used for only use 8-bit data only. Next, program counter. It is a 16-bit register used to store the memory address location. Whatever the address location of the instruction, that is to be executed. Every instruction of execution allocates some address location. Once execution takes place, program counter automatically increments to the next address location. This is about program counter. Next, we see stack pointer. This is nothing but a stack. This is done with the operation by using push and pop operation. This stack pointer is automatically incremented or decremented by 2. Next, flag registers. Flag registers, these contains 5 flags: sign flag, 0 flag, auxiliary carry flag, parity flag, carry flag. It is an 8-bit registers. These are used to hold either 0 or 1 depending upon result stored in the accumulator. Whatever the result stored in the accumulator, that which holds only either it is setting or resetting depending upon the value. So let's see when it is set and when it is reset. See first the diagram. Here it contains 8-bit means, so D0 to D7 contain 8-bit. So here D0, D2, D4, D6, D7 are 5 flags. Here CY means carry flag, P means parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, 0 flag, sign flag. These empty blocks contains undefined bits. Now let's see an example when it is set and when it is reset. If we want to add this addition operation of C, B and E9, we have to write this C in binary numbers 1100, B in 1011. Next, E9 1110 1001. If we are adding these two numbers, we get some result. If the result we are getting all zeros, then 0 flag is set to 1, otherwise it is 0. Here we see the result we are getting value but not all zeros, so 0 flag is set to 0 but not 1, so result is non-zero. Next, when parity flag is set or reset means, if we get the result, if we get even number of ones, then parity flag is set to 1. If we get odd number of ones, parity flag is not set, that means parity flag is set to 0 only. Next, we see auxiliary carry flag. Next, whatever the carry from 3rd bit to 4th bit, there is a carry from 3rd bit to 4th bit, then auxiliary carry flag is set to 1. Or if we get the carry from lower nibble to upper nibble, then auxiliary carry flag is set to 1, otherwise 0. Next, carry flag. After performing addition, we get the carry, then carry flag is set to 1, otherwise carry flag is set to 0. Next, MSB. MSB of the sum is 1, means the most significant bit of the addition operation, we get most significant bit. If the most significant value is 1, then sign flag is set to 1. If MSB contains 0, the sign flag is reset, means the sign flag is set to 0. This is about flags. Next, instruction register and decoder. It is also a 8-bit register. When an instruction is fetched from the memory, when an instruction is getting or fetched from the memory, first it is directly stored into the instruction register. Next, instruction decoder decodes the information present in the instruction register. This is about instruction register and decoder. Later we see timing and control unit. It provides timing and control signals to the microprocessor to perform operation. Following are the control signals, status signals, DMA signals, reset signals. First we have see control signals. Control signals contain ready signal, read bar, write bar, ALE. ALE means address latch enable. Next we see status signals S0, S1, IO by M bar, means input or output by M bar. Next DMA signals. DMA signals means direct memory access signals. Direct memory access signals contain hold signal HLDA. HLDA means hold acknowledgement. Next we see reset signals. Here reset signals are reset in and reset out. These are timing and control unit. This is used mainly to control external and internal circuits. Next we see interrupt control. Here what is interrupt? Interrupt means it is a disturbance or event occurring when microprocessor is executing some program. If microprocessor is executing one program, when an interrupt occurs, it automatically not disturbed and it is directly shifted to the control from the main program to process the incoming request. After the request is completed, the control directly goes back to the main program. Totally there are 5 interrupt signals in 8085 microprocessor, that is INTR. INTR means interrupt request signal. Next reset 7.5, reset 6.5, reset 5.5 and trap signal. These are of interrupt control signals. Next we see serial input or output control. It controls the serial data communication by using these two instructions. We see in block diagram. Here we see serial input or output control. Here SID indicates that serial input data, SOD for serial output data. Next, address buffer and address data buffer. If whatever the content stored in the stack pointer and program counter, that is directly loaded into the address buffer first. Later address and data buffer is mainly used for to communicate with CPU. The main function of address buffer and address data buffer is that is used for exchanging of data with memory and input and output chips. This is about address buffer and address data buffer. Next we see address bus and data bus. Here data bus means data bus carries only data, that is what is to be stored in the data, that only it carries. It is of bidirectional, whereas address bus carries only the location of the address. Whatever the address location is that is to be stored, that address will be carried, but it is unidirectional. It is used to transfer the data and address input or output devices. This is about the complete functional units of 8085. Next we see multiplexing of address and data bus. First, mainly address bus contains 8 signal lines, that is A8 to A15, which is unidirectional. Next, other address lines are multiplexer, that means that is shared with data bus. So totally 8 address bits and 8 data bits are time sharing with that, which is nothing but multiplexed with 8 data bits. So the bits AD0 to AD7 are bidirectional. That contains here A0 to A7 contains 1 address bits and A8 to A15 contains another address. Total 16 address bus it contains. Next we see D0 to D7. Here 8085 microprocessor supports 8-bit data bus and 16-bit address bus. So here D0 to D7 8-bit data. these are multiplexed, that means time sharing with these two address and data bus, which is nothing but multiplexing. So next, during the execution of instructions, these lines carries address bits during the early part. First, whenever the instruction is executed, first these lines carry first preference that is for address bus, and later data bits. If you want to separate the address from the data, we can use latch. Here we see the diagram. This is the latch. AD7 to AD0, that is connected to the latch. This is done with, for separation of address and data bus, we have to use the latch here. This is about multiplexing of address and data bus. Next, demultiplexing. Here the higher order bits of the address remains on. We require only 3 clock periods for higher order address bits. For only one lower order address bits only for 1 clock period. So this is about demultiplexing. If we want to get back the signal, whatever the signal is to be sent, if you get all the information back, we need demultiplexing. This is about demultiplexing. Here ALE means address latch enable. Here ALE is 1, it will be able to latch the address. If ALE goes low, the address is saved. This is for bidirectional. This is address latch enable is given to the latch so that it can separate address and data through bidirectional bits. Next, control and status signals. There are 4 main control signals and status signals. So these are ALE, read bar, write bar, IO by M bar. Here ALE means address latch enable. Whenever ALE equal to 1, the AD0 to AD7 lines have address on them. When it becomes 0, it contains data. Next, read bar. Read means active low. It is an active low signal. Write also active low signal. IO by M bar. This signal specifies whether the operation is memory or input. If IO by M bar equal to 0, it is a memory operation. If IO by M bar equal to 1, this is input or output operation. Next we see these 4 are control signals. Later we see status signal, that is S1 and S0. These are used to mainly specify the kind of operation. Whatever the operation is to be performed, that can be set to the S0 and S1. Here generating control signal, that is read, write, IO by M bar, that can be generated with memory read, memory write, input read, input write. Next we see status signal here. Here status signals is mainly used for specifying the whatever the kind of the operation is that is specified. Here S0 and S1 is 1 1, then opcode fetch. If S0 is 0, S1 is 1, memory read. S0 is 1 and S1 is 0, memory write. This is about truth table or control and status signals. Next we see microprocessor 8085 pin configuration. Here we see actually the microprocessor contains 40 pins on its chip. So here we see 40 pins. Here 1 and 2 represent X1 and X2. These are clock signals. Next reset out. Next SOD, serial output data. SID means serial input data, trap signal. Next reset 7.5, reset 6.5, reset 5.5. Next 10th number INTR, interrupt request. Next 11 INTA, interrupt acknowledgement. Up to 12 to 19, these are bidirectional, AD0 to AD7 bits. Next VSS, here VSS means ground. Next C21, 21 to 28 are unidirectional address bits, that is higher order bits A8 to A15. Next we see 29th bit S0. Next 30, write bar. 31 read bar, 32 VPP. Next S1 IO by M bar, input and output are M bar. Next ready, reset in clock HLDA hold VCC. This is the pin configuration of microprocessor. Now see one by one whatever the pins is performed. Next, firstly address bus A8 to A15, it carries only higher order bits or more significant bits of the memory or input output address. Next we see data bus. Here address bus are unidirectional but data bus are AD0 to AD7 are least significant bits which is bidirectional. Next we see power supply. There are two power supply signals, VCC, VSS. Here VCC indicates 5 volts power supply and VSS indicates ground signal. Next we see there are 3 clock signals, that is X1, X2, clock out. X1, here we see a crystal. Here X1, X2 we use crystal network that is connected to these two pins and is used to set the frequency of internal clock generator. This frequency is internally divided by 2. Actually it is a crystal oscillator. Why it is used means, in order to generate clock pulses, crystal oscillator is used. Generally the microprocessor has 6 megahertz internally 6 megahertz operating speed it contains, but this crystal frequency is internally divided by 2. That's why it reduces to 3 megahertz clock speed. Next, clock out signal. This signal is used as system clock for devices connected with microprocessor. Next, serial input or output ports. This is used for serial transmission. It contains serial input data and serial output data. Next, we see control signals. These signals are used to identify the kind of operation. Next, there are 3 control signals, that is read, write, ALE signal. Next, 3 status signals, input or output are S1 and S2. These signals are used to identify the type of current operation. Here S0 is 00, operation is halt. S0 is 1 and S1 is 0, write operation. S0 is 0, S1 is 1, read operation. S0 is 1 and S1 is 1, fetch operation. This is about control and status signals. Next, interrupts and externally initiated signals. Interrupts are the signals generated by external devices to the request the microprocessor to perform a task. Total 5 interrupt signals already seen previous slide, that is trap signal, reset 7.5, reset 6.5, reset 5.5 and interrupt request signal. First we see INTA, it is a interrupt acknowledgement signal. Next, reset in. This signal is used to reset the microprocessor. Directly when it is reset, that program counter is directly counted to 000. Next, reset out. The signal is used to reset all the connected devices when the microprocessor is reset. Next, ready signal. The signal indicates that the device is ready to send or receive the data. This is like an acknowledgement. If ready is low, the CPU has to wait for ready to go high. This is hold. The signal indicates that another master is requesting the use of address and data bus. Next, hold acknowledgement. It indicates that CPU has received the hold request or not. HLDA is set to low after hold signal is removed. Next, need for interrupts. First, what is an interrupt? Interrupt is a signal sent by the external device to the processor to perform a particular task or a work. Mainly in microprocessor based system, interrupts are used for data transfer between peripheral and microprocessor. Here peripheral means input and output devices. When a peripheral is ready for data transfer, it interrupts the processor by sending an appropriate signal to the interrupt pin of the microprocessor. If processor accepts this interrupt, then processor suspends its current activity and executes an interrupt service subroutine to complete the data transfer between peripheral and processor. After executing the interrupt service routine, the processor resumes its current activity. This type of data transfer scheme is interrupt driven data transfer scheme. This is about interrupts. Next, interrupts are classified into vector interrupt, non-vector interrupt, maskable interrupt, non-maskable interrupt, software interrupt and hardware interrupt. Here vector interrupts are reset 7.5, reset 6.5, reset 5.5 and trap. Next, non-vector interrupts are interrupt request signal. Next, maskable interrupts are reset 7.5, reset 6.5. Next, non-maskable interrupt means trap signal. Next, software interrupt means reset 0, reset 1, reset 2, reset 3, reset 4 up to reset 7. Next, hardware interrupt means trap signal, reset 7.5, reset 6.5, reset 5.5 and INTA. These are the classification of interrupts. Next, interrupt vector table. Here the interrupt contains some address. Here trap indicates 0024H. Reset 7.5 has address 0003CH. Reset 6.5 indicates 0034H. Reset 5.5 indicates 002CH. This is vector interrupts. Here INTR, another request is non-vector interrupt. Here see interrupt priority. First, the interrupts can be when the interrupts are external signals are first mainly by using this priority only interrupt signals is occurred. First the main preference is trap, next reset 7.5, reset 6.5, reset 5.5, later INTR interrupt request. This is about the complete syllabus of unit 1, that is part 1 only. Next we see the questions. What are the flags in 8085? What is the memory size of the 8085 microprocessor? How many bits in 8085 microprocessor? How many interrupts in 8085 microprocessor? 8085 microprocessor has how many pins? Okay, thank you.